Mahila, everybody calm down. It's all good. I got my Coke over here. Didn't get much sleep last night, but I did take a big nap yesterday after I went to Golden Nugget with my dad. So I was zapped. I was like done after that, totally beached. And like during the meal, at the restaurant in the casino, Saltgrass. Um, it was like I got really tired. So um, Biden today, he went over. He was talking about his relationship with China, and he was basically like, if they want to do something, he's like, I've got my like the old measures that I've talked about, like talking about what he felt passionate about, kind of. And he was talking about Australia, Japan, India, and Europe in the West, and like that they'd have a coalition or something. So then, like, I kind of broke it down because he said that, and then he went into like, but we hold these truths to be self-evident. Sounds corny, um, and then he kind of like cut himself off after that and didn't say, like, he kind of jumped around a little bit. And if you feel like I jump around on my channel, that's okay. Um, Basically, I went into this deal, not the deal the Grok talks of. I went into this deal February 2nd of 2020, and like everything's been like a heightened sense of things, like just getting things done consistently for the Lord, like through confidence and calmness, like it talks about in Isaiah 28 and Isaiah 30. But it's not the death and hell deal, really. It's more like, well, I don't really know what it is, but I think it's the Euphrates deal. That's what I think. Like it's a different. Like they were shooting for me to be Strong's 2038, which is like solve the Hellboy giant problem. That's what they were shooting for me. And like they even had, like Alicia Vikander and stuff, like they had these people like body hop to like play a role and be like this M, like a Trinity in the Matrix, who like leads you to, getting unplugged or whatever. That's kind of how they were going about it. But so that was on February 2nd of 2020. Then we had coronavirus. And right before then, Kobe Bean Bryant died. And like I think that, in my opinion, the 47, or the man, as people say, is Paul Walker, and he represents Bethlehem Ephrata. So there's a son of him. Like it, you know, it's like a trickle down system of arms, like the Jedi system. But it's not weird or anything. It's like, mine is like Joe Pesci, Kevin J. O'Connor, Paul Walker, Brock, Obama, Ben V, but not really anymore, because he went dark like Count Dooku does. And then, after him is Elias, and Elias cut off with the Atlantis spa shooting. Keep a mercy mindset. Don't think anything crazy. It's all okay. He didn't do it. It was his symbolism. Okay. So nobody has to do anything. It's all okay. The terror events in the news are stuff that happens that God says it all went down perfectly, but there's so much pressure that something went wrong because it's not time yet, or there's true evil involved. Now, through my experience with the smoke and stuff, I have seen the true evil. I have seen it and felt it, and it is real, and it's not Satan, okay? It's something even greater than that. Like it's like alien stuff. And in my writings and stuff, I talk about an agreement between the gray and reptile, because they fight even that really wicked stuff that's even like horrible. You know what I'm saying? And I know you may disagree, but you almost have to think about like Lord of the Rings. Like there's different levels of evil, even. So, and I don't do that stuff anymore, but that's kind of what the terror is, the terror attacks and stuff. So, um, yeah, like so Biden was talking about Australia, Japan, India, and Europe. Now, if you just look at it basically, and this is all I'll say about it, and then I'll chill out. Like I'm just having a Coke. I'm sitting over here at Bourbon Street. They got TVs and stuff, like just hanging out, doing some writings and whatnot, and it's all good. Don't worry about anything. It's all okay. Um, but Elias, he was actually one of my subscribers on or in my channels on my other channel. He's the cross, and like Rapture is near or something like that is his channel name, and he's from Sweden. Okay, and he doesn't make videos anymore. Like I think that he cut off and stuff. So and if he does, like it's not really him, but um so Australia, I always think of like as Euphrates. Then you have India is like the Lost Brothers. That's Ephesus. Then you have Japan is like the honor, which is the I of 3.14, the I. Okay, or the nine. Then you have Europe, and Europe is kind of like 4 and 3 because it's EU, which is 4, and then it's the rope. It's also the 3. So Europe is kind of like, and that's why he said Europe with the West, because he's saying not with the East, not with the 3, because the 3 is that false Ezekiel 13 symbolism, the flyer stuff, and like he's saying more on the 4 side. Now, the 4 can get a little bit scary because they say you turn into a battery. And that's when Neo freaks out because he's like, no, I don't believe it. Like, they turn him into a battery. Like, Morpheus holds up the battery. And, that can mean a few different things, like the casino ending, or um, that they lose their girl, that their girl goes with the Revelation 17, and they have to live with that the rest of their life. Like, that they didn't save their girl. That's what they have to live with. And like, we've talked about the Megarans on my channel, those runners from Zidon, that were like kind of black in color, kind of tan black. And like, um, they won their girl, and they had a tether, and tether is kind of related to the falls. And like I suffered a broken foot and broken back in April of 2020 on April 3rd. And my L3 and L4 of my spine were compressed together. And then my foot was shattered. But I'm walking now, I'm okay. But so kind of like um, you know, you can say that's like Zechariah 3 and 4 were put together for me. Like God helped me. He put a fair meter upon my head so that I could know like what I need to do. But yeah, I'm trying to go strong. My deal is kind of like my seal or whatever was like this girl at PS Lavada. She said this, which is Participation Station. It's a place I used to go in Lexington, Kentucky. And she said they won't forget about the ambulance. And like when I got the spear, the ambulance chimes went off, okay, as I was going to get it. And like, so that means a lot to me. And then it also means like um I don't know, for like these Jews that I knew in Owensboro, like they were EMTs or something, like in Florida. Like there's a big connection there with the Jews and stuff. Like I was supposed to witness to them and stuff. And like, you know, but I don't know if all that's true. Okay. A lot of this, like, I have to keep stable, and I do. And thank you for helping me, all the teammates that have good information. But yeah, so like, um, but the ambulance, like, it can mean a lot of things, but like, that was the phrase that I put in, and it turned out to be 503. Now, 503 in Strong's is Euroclydon, okay? Euroclydon was a strong wind that came about, talking about Paul's time. So we'll see. But yeah, that's about 6 days away, 503. But really, with the rest of the seal, they wanted me to cut off, and my buried treasure that I found was for 421, and that I was going to be a martyr at 421. And that see Lil Baby on the radio, he he looks just like this Frenchman that I met in a dark place. And he talked about his heritage and told me the difference between Ford and Ram, and that Ford is French and Ram is English and stuff. And like, we went all into detail about the sons of Adam and the sons of Eve and all that. And like, he knew so much about it, like, because that was his family, the French side. And like, he was supposed to get an inheritance from the land grants because the French and English control all the land in the U.S. This is what he said, okay? And like, Lil Baby looks just like him, and like, just black, like they turned him black, at Area 51. And like, so, my friend Nick Nozell, and from Copperfield swim team, he's now Buddy, Buddy and Maida and stuff. And like, she's kind of like Jezebel, the spirit that came out of the woman or something. And like, but yeah, little Baby, see, he cut off at 494. That's when he cut off with Samaria and all that, talking about thou God liveth, O Dan, So they cut him off there, and I thought, gosh, like, there was even an eclipse on that day for me in Russia, and I thought I was done. But got through it. So all right, keep faith. Look, I'm not doing anything satanic or witchcraft or anything like that. I'm simply like reading the signs and trying to keep up with it all through ciphers and stuff. And they're body hopping all the time. Like, they put that, excuse me, they put that Ben V spirit, that Hur, they put that spirit in all the, like, in my parents and stuff. And like, I know that it's not them. Like, I have to be aware, like, okay, like, they're trying to make me fall, and like, it's not even them. And like, I can tell, like, there's little differences and stuff. So, and then basically you have to think about it as the Matrix anyway, where the people that aren't unplugged, they can be hijacked at any time to be an agent. They can, that's just how it is. Like, they show it simply in that movie, but like, that really is how it is. So like, I don't have sex with girls or anything. I don't want to, because like, they could all be hijacked. It really could be a man who, like, who is in the body of the girl, like, because I know that they're weird like that. So, you know, and look, like, I did all my stuff. Like, I worked for an electric company. Like, I basically, like, I had to get a spear to get rid of to purify all that stuff. Because I did some weird stuff to get the job. And like, I just, look, like, I was in the military for a little bit, like, went through boot camp and then left because I knew it was some weird stuff. Like, I had the roommate next to me was, this African American guy, and like a white guy who had tried out for to be Superman in the movies. And like, it looked like he could have gotten the part, and like, they played video games and just zoned out. because like some weird stuff was going on. They told me they wish they had left, but like something had happened to them their sophomore year, and like um then they knew like they were trapped in it and stuff, and like so then I'm thinking like, why would it be the sophomore year? Like, like some like something didn't add up, because if you go 2 full years, then you have to commit, or you can leave and transfer with 2 years credits. And like, I knew something was up, and like the way they were acting about in the auditorium, watching the people get blown up, like in the Middle East, by our drones. Like they had made us so tired that we went to that auditorium, and like we were worn out, and then they got everyone to start yelling and like pumping fist, and like really cheering for the drones blowing up the people in the Middle East. The drones, okay, the drones. And like, I just I just knew from that moment. I'm like, I no man, this isn't cool. Like, I don't know. You may think I'm like a little girl or something. I don't know, but it just, something didn't sit right with me, and like I just knew from then that like I couldn't be there, and like um but yeah, so I think that's what Biden was talking about though, and so just keep faith. This is kind of a review of some of my past, and like um I don't know, for new people and stuff. Like, my channel is a little bit all over the place. Like the gematria phrases, they don't really make sense. It's like run-on sentences, and like a lot of information put together into one. And like I do that on purpose, because it's like it's getting all the codes to come out, like to show it exactly. Like if I put a lot of wordage and like correct sentences and stuff, like that can block the meaning sometimes of the ciphers. So like I try to keep it true to it, and then they take on a life form, like they become a reality. Like I add body parts of like animals and stuff. Like we keep it legit, like it's no joke. Like, so, and like, look, the woman or whoever, like, she doesn't have to, write all this down or anything. Like, she doesn't have to do any of that. Like, that's not what this is about. Like, these companies like Disney and stuff and Fox and all this, like they answer to Jesus now. Like, it's like we're changing things. Like, there's a new ocean in the waters, the Southern Ocean now. Like, like the old times are done. Like, that's the way I see it. Like, anything that's not cool with Jesus, I'm not doing. So, all right, thank you.